Hello and welcome back to another video. Today we're going to take a look at the utility frame for the Insta360 X5. I've seen other reviews online about the utility frame. There's not too many actually, especially YouTube videos regarding this, so I thought I'd do my own and put it out there on the net. So I have an Insta360 X5, obviously. I've had this for over a year now. And just recently started using it for recording mountain bike rides. And so I wanted to get something that would help protect the camera, but more importantly, to give me more mounting options. One of the, what we call an issue with the camera is the fact that there's nowhere on the camera to attach a tether of any kind. It's like it's all smooth surface. There's just nowhere to attach one. I guess you could screw something into the tripod mount, but then ideally you want to use that to mount it on yourself to record the bike ride. So I think a cage was the way to go, and plus it gives you more mounting options, and so I'll show you that when we open this up. Now I've already had this out of the box, but I wanted to repack it and show you what's in the box. So this is what happens when you open the box. You're presented with this nice instructions for use manual, and then under that you've got a bag of spare wind muffs, and I'll show you what that's all about in a second. These are spare ones. I think there's 4 in there from what I can see. And then you pop this out, nice little plastic cover, and then here's the frame. Let's get this out of the way. So the frame itself, as you can see, it comes with a silicone cap, which is similar to the one that you can get with the X5 itself, but it's shaped a little bit differently to allow the largest size of the cage, and goes around it like you can see. And it's nice, it actually snaps on pretty good, so it's pretty secure. So I don't think that'll fall off on its own, but it's slightly different than the original one that comes with the X5. So you can't use the one that comes with the X5 with the cage, obviously, because the cage adds a bit of width, changes the shape of it essentially. But anyway, that's the silicone cap. Now the cage itself, it feels pretty good. It's fairly light actually. That doesn't feel like it weighs very much at all. And the cage, I've read different reviews about people saying how it's kind of flimsy and it bends easily. But I mean, unless you're going to put pressure on this and bend it on purpose, I don't think that's a problem. I think it's sturdy enough for what it's designed to do. Now, this particular cage has a screw-on method of closing it. Some of them have a clip that pops down, and you can put a screw in optionally. But this one's got a screw on the top, which I kind of like this design. One of the complaints I read about online too from some people is the fact that you have to turn this so many times to undo it. But actually, that's a good thing, because it means it's fine threaded, and means that it'll be less likely to come apart on its own, because it's got a finer pitch to the thread. Of course, the thread, obviously, the thing would loosen more quickly and be prone to coming off on its own, I think. Anyways, let me just open this little hinge up and I'll show you how this looks. You can see here, it just hinges very simply on a pin on this side. Now here's the little microphone muffs that are they're mounted from the back side here. They just go into a little slot, and so these line up with the side microphones on the Luna, or the Insta360 X5 right here. I say Luna because my other camera's a Luna, so I'm getting these confused. So the actual cage, you can see there's a 1/4-inch mount here, a 1/4-inch mount here, and also a quick connect adapter. So or a quick connect socket, so you can put in a quick connect adapter on there if you want to use that. So let me just put the X5 into it, and you'll see what it looks like. So obviously you want to line this up properly. There's only one way to put it in, because otherwise, the openings won't line up. So this is the front, basically, where it says Insta360 on it. This slide the camera in, and then now some people complain about this, but now you turn this screw. Oh, I'm just going to line it up properly here. Turn the screw once you get it started. There it goes. Yeah, it does take a few turns to get it down, but once it's down, it's down. So there's the X5 mounted inside the cage. You can see You know, it just hugs the corners around here, and it fits perfectly. Obviously, it's made, well, PGY Tech is the company that makes this for Insta360. If you look at PGY Tech's cage, it's exactly the same. So, and it doesn't really add much weight to the camera. It's slightly heavier, but it's nothing noticeable really. You can, like, you do notice it, but it's not bothersome. Let's put it that way. So that's the cage mounted on the X5. Very, very solid feel to it. Now, the reason I got this was to attach it to the neck mount that I got from PGY Tech, which is this one here. And I got this over a chest mount because this is a little more solid because it's around your neck. It doesn't tend to flop around. And it's also got a strap that goes around behind your back and attaches quite securely. So this one here has a quick disconnect, so you pop this off. And then what I would do normally is I would attach this on here, spin this on, and then you can just mount the camera like this. This is, say, around my neck, and then this snaps on, and it sort of hangs like that. And I've used it like this, and it's actually worked really, really well. I'll insert some footage right now to show you what the bike ride looks like when it's mounted like this, and you'll see here that it actually looks really good. It's got a good point of view. I do record in 360 mode so that I have the ability to sort of move the frame around if I want to. I know that Insta360 makes a POV chest mount, but the problem with that one, from my point of view, is that has to do with the point of view, actually, and the fact that the camera recesses into it, and so you can only use one lens when you have that particular chest mount. And then you're in a situation where you may not have a high enough angle on the camera to show ahead of the bike, and you'll be looking down at the wheel and the pedals potentially. So at least with this one, I can adjust it by just turning the screw, and then I can adjust the camera up and down, which works out perfectly. Now, the reason I got the cage also was that I have the option to do this. So I'll just take this off again, and I'll just unmount the connector here. Now, because the cage has a 1/4 inch mount on the side, you can then take the adapter, if I can get this on here, there we go, and line it up, and now I can snap this back in, and now I can use the camera in this mode. Actually, I would probably use it like this so that the screen's facing me. There. So that way the screen's facing you. You can see what's going on with the camera if you look down. And you can use it this way, which, you know, it just takes a bit of leverage off of your neck in terms of the weight, because the camera is now sitting horizontally instead of vertically. So it keeps the center of gravity a little closer to your chest, which is good. So I think you can see it's nice because it's centered with, almost centered with the lens at the mounting point. Now Insta360 does make a let's unhook this here. They do make another thing called an L bracket, I think they call it, where it screws onto the 1/4 inch mount on the bottom of the X5, and it's just shaped like this. Right? It just, and the X5 just screws onto it, and then it's got a 1/4 inch mount here. But the problem with that, from my point of view, is that, you know, you'll connect it up, and let's say mount it like this, and then the lens is off to one side now. So you're going to always have a sort of off-center look to the image if you're trying to keep it centered in the frame, and or centered to your body, that is. And then the other thing is, it doesn't support the camera as well, because all it is it's still supported just through the 1/4 inch bottom connector here. Whereas the cage, it surrounds the entire camera. The camera itself is just sitting in the cage, and the cage does all the work in terms of supporting it. So, yeah, so that's a look at the Insta360 X5 Utility Frame, as they call it. I mean, I call it a cage. And as you can see also, I should point out that the buttons are all accessible, the ports, the battery can come out, you know, so it doesn't interfere with that. So yeah, that's my my look at the utility frame. Thanks for watching.